out of there, and finally the kill will come in. BDD collects that one as Dudu's over the wall. Keen looks to stun him up, gets out of the way of the final Q now, and Kolomik should be available if he decides to dive. There it is, and that is the solo kill for Keen. A little bit of an overreach there for Dudu. When the play-by-play caster can see it's not going to work, you know you've done messed up.
I mean, Keen with a really nice dodge on the Q3, but he had so many ways to survive and get out of that. KT with a massive win. This is the fight you do not want to take as Kwangdong Freaks against Kraken Slayer, against a Syndra. This is the exact type of spike I'm talking about here. Then Keen gets the cherry on top defensive solo kill here and is going to take out a whole turret. And yeah, as Kwangdong, you got 2 Drakes, but unluckily, it's the Ocean Soul. And your composition is really going to, fall on its face a little bit here for quite some time now that you both have a bit of a trough.
Doorway, Dudu has his ultimate available. This Chaos Storm doing a whole lot of work as aiming, getting the auto attack. Finally, we see the Syndra do an ultimate, but it's exactly what we were talking about. Taeyun can now pop off, and aiming's going to go down for the triple, cuz maybe giving a quadra. There it is with the extendo beam. Kwangdong Freaks, they'll go over to the Baron.
I'm just going to stamp it right now. Just gonna stamp it right now, Atlas.
I'm so sad because I just explained that exact situation.
Yes, and then it happened exactly as you said, and now this area is well and truly online because she hit her second item spike, picked up a BF sword, and is doing real damage in these fights. And Syndra is so desperately trying to look for an angle.
They at least try to stop this Elder from going down, because watching the enemy team take it will lose you the game. That's Exodia right there. Decent scatter is going to come through as now Dudu taking control of Cuz. He's very tanky, but Bulldog is keeping everybody else locked down. And yeah, Cuz is there to be tanky, but it just does not work out. And now Dudu can do what he wants. He finds the Q. The final chapter comes down, and this could be a Penta. We've got a Quadra already, and there it is! Pentakill for Taeyun as they run down the mid lane and pick up game 1 versus KT.
Second win of the season here, game-wise for Kwangdong Freaks. A one-sided affair. Amazing mid-game team fighting, and BDD just could not find his targets. And I think a lot of this game was about how Dudu played the Cassante, because there's so many threats.
Yeah.
In this draft, on the side of Kwangdong Freaks, you have to deal with the Zero, you have to deal with the
back off. How many plates does Bulldog get without Rift Herald in this game?
I'd say at least 2.
Well, BDD is in a lot of trouble. Cuz is moving on in, but the flash does come out. There's the rocket jump, and he gets Goomba stomped! It's not Bulldog, it's Mario!
Yeah, he just doesn't respect it, Atlas. I was like, does he all in? If BDD doesn't respect it, BDD says, I'm not going to respect it. He all-ins. Guess what? Tristana can go over that wall without a flash. So
yeah.
You were never safe. You just wasted your flash. Tristana follows. She's got flash for a follow-up all-in where you can't flash.
You said flash a lot of times, Wolf, and all I saw was a dead BDD and a great start for this Tristana in the mid lane. Another thing that makes it very curious that Taeyun hasn't gone towards lethality.
Hey, look
They've
at this.
got an 80. Heal's too good though, and now Young Jay's going to get the double knockups. Bulldog is looking for even more. The resets are coming in, and Lance doesn't have heal this time. Press the attack is stacked, and now aiming is going to try and answer this. Bulldog's pretty strong though, so he's going to have to run. Not enough ricochets here, as now he might be able to close in. Not sure about that one there, Bulldog.
Hey, we'll give him credit for all the parts he did right before that, though, Atlas.
Hey, yeah, there we go. I think he had an explosive shot, and he wanted to stack it up and thought he might be able to get the kill after he saw that the spell shield was down.
Yeah, I think that's absolutely what he was thinking. Keen was also coming down, though, and June's not going to be able to offer much there, unfortunately, so...
Oh, my goodness. The amount of plates that had gone down this game would have sold out IQ. Bulldog's teleported in. He's finding free autos now, and he's shooting so fast with the rapid fire cannon. Enforced alcove gaming here for KT as Cuz is just limping away from this fight. BDD is going to die as an afterthought as the reset comes through. Bulldog grabs the pickup. He's going to let his team take care of the rest of it as he's just jumping a billion times. God, I love this player. Kwangdong Freaks is so good.
I'm so glad Taeyun didn't steal the kill after having no part in that entire exchange, just pushing mid. AFK He's like, AFK mid.
Yeah.
This is Guangdong Freaks. The comp is so ahead that Varus' job is just to push mid.
And now we know why he took lethal tempo, man. It's so that he could do as much turret damage.
Yeah, that's
possible.
the real reason. That's the real reason.
Although I think that the lethality build would have done fine damage to turrets, but never mind. Still think it's cool.
I mean,
gets to shoot it faster.
This draft from KT was greedy and disrespectful. We saw the punish
These
come
turrets,
through.
Kane getting a decent knockback, but I mean, at this point, I think the minions are going to be too strong. Youngjae fighting against Kane, and the turrets are just falling. Taeyeon getting these autos down right into the back line goes Youngjae, but the Nexus is dead, and it's a 2-0 for Guangdong Freaks. Look at Bulldog, he's so happy, man.
Very well-deserved 2-0 here. KT Rolster with disrespect in the draft, and finally, Guangdong fans have something to celebrate tonight as KT loses in a 2-0 upset. And both games, there were some draft problems for KT, but in the second game, they walked right into it. You picked red side, and you picked your solo laners before the second ban phase. You went way face-up into this, while also giving a prio bottom lane to Guangdong Freaks. I mean, the disrespect couldn't have been higher. And KT, I think, came to this game and said, we're going to execute better. We're the better team. It's going to be okay. And it absolutely wasn't. And Bulldog... yeah, I mean, not perfect. Like, if we're talking about, like, insane accuracies. Oh, under turret!
Okay, yeah, Emperor's Divide going to come through. The arrow was soaring by as well as there's Chovy's version of the ult, but the permafrost is there and Chovy's just dead. Closer locks down that kill.
Atlas week of upsets continues maybe here in the LCK.
0-6?
Oh, that was so unfortunate for Chovy. Pushed into turret there, super greedy, and then doesn't catch Willer with his ultimate. And Willer is able to come in there and take him out. Saves the flash at least, but no good news here for Gen.G across the map. Yeah, small CS lead in the solo lanes, but negligible compared.
The Renekton goes golden beautifully, and Chovy is still alive. Can he get it done? Another Emperor's Divide, this time on the Gen.G side as he flashes out of the way of Envy, but Envy's going to have a flash of his own, and that is the ace for Liv Sandbox.
Liv Sandbox here losing a lot, though, not actually securing the Drake, and perhaps they can teleport back, or rather recall back and then grab Baron, but I just don't think they have the damage here, actually, so Birdall's just going to push bottom side, so Gen.G with a valiant fight regardless here. Drake going to go over to the side of Gen.G. Closer avoids this Nature's Grasp, is going to get all the way back here into the backline, and it looks doomed until Birdall gets on top of Gen.G here, and then Closer sets up the Emperor's Divide. Beautifully played.
Willa, Closer, Deadly Flourish misses with Sandbox relatively low, and look at this. The Pigeon is coming in. Can he shift Sand enough in order to get over here and stop this? Conquering Sands comes in. There is Closer with the Zhonyas, and Chovy gonna have to do the same thing. Now in an awkward position, Doran is the one that picks up on it. Chovy, he goes down. Envy's going to get, oh, he flashes, and he gets down. Oh my goodness, this Varus is just insane right now, but
insane.
Gen.G are still alive.
Gen.G's still alive. Chovy goes down. That steal from Closer as well, getting the dominance at the last second, barely surviving. He actually being alive here is massive for the team. Could actually just go straight back to a side lane here. Unbelievable fight. This all starts off like this. Nuts. This is a crazy game. Who knew this was going to be the best series of the week? And Root comes down here onto Varus. Envy here very exposed right now. Kyle already taken out by Chovy at the beginning of this fight. And look at how well...
Here's Chovy is going to get a very high value Zhonya's, avoids a lot of Freljordian ultimates. And Willa going to be put at a safe distance, but now Envy's moving in. He's got the Chains of Corruption, they miss. So never mind, we got back away. And there's the Deadly Flourish. Will we see the follow-up? The answer is yes, finally! They managed to kill the Varus, but is that going to be enough? Because that's a lot expended now on both sides. But Doran, is it the Crocodile's time to shine? Kyle going to get taken down. Gen.G come alive, and it's just in time for Baron.
Seems like every single team fight that Liv Sandbox loses, it's by tunneling on one specific zone where all of that AoE damage, all of the Leandre's damage comes through, as this could be a disaster for Birdall. So much damage here with the TP coming through.
Is Willa alive?
We'll find out.
Well, Closer is alive as well. This is such a scary moment. Gen.G, please turn, for goodness sake. There it is. They pick up the Sejuani and take her down. Willa cannot smite from the grave. It's the hard counter to the Liv Sandbox playstyle as they just do a bit of a drive-by, check it out, see the Baron going down. Sandbox. Live Sandbox had to give it up.
I think Live Sandbox might have just lost this game off of a tunneling on this call here. Look at how quickly Gen.G are rotating. Doran is already on his way up too. You have no Gnar here. And Closer gets knocked away, gets out of the Pays ultimate, but it's a war of attrition. You are not going to win. Chovy Zonius dodges the arrow perfectly, and there's just so much damage. You don't have
taking down the turret, trying to get themselves further in the lead. 1 minute until Hextech Soul point for Gen.G. Live Sandbox, if they can get there, Hextech Soul will be huge.
Kyle waiting for that arrow to come back up. If they can hit Chovy or Pays.
All right, H's Grasp to set up for these arrows. Never mind.
Bit of a waste here, unfortunately, but you know, it's still helping secure the zone here around these inhibitors for Gen.G. Baron buff still up for 65 seconds. They're going to take a back timer here. Not going to commit any further with this pick comp for Live Sandbox on the other side to grabbing inhibs. So looks like Gen.G get a gold lead from this, get control of the map temporarily, but it's actually Live Sandbox in the driver's seat pushing now back towards the Soul for this Hextech as they push with the Varus in mid. And man, this might be the last fight of the game.
Yeah, I think it should be. 6th Elemental Drake. Could potentially be 7 if the game does go longer, but I think you might be right, Wolf, as Willett is going to start it up. He backs away immediately. The rest of the team not into it. Oh my god, the Chains of Corruption, the Piercing Arrow. Chovy has to get out. Nature's Grasp flying through on the opposite side, and Chovy, he can't fight. He's still going to try to, but Closer will find him. And I think Closer will say goodnight to the game. It's a triple kill for the Silas. It is game over for Gen.G. And we are just living in Live Sandbox land, I guess.
We are, and you know, I said they're second lowest combined champion kills right now. Well, let's add 35 in this game to where we're at. I think the stats are changing after this one. A 35-minute game, 35 kills.
Well, is it over yet? Never mind, there isn't a Renekton. Live Sandbox will close in. The double dabs to come through here from Live Sandbox as they trample Gen.G in game number 1 in the very end. Gave them a Baron to let them feel like they're having a good time, and then snatched away the Nexus.
Cool kids never panic, Atlas. There were so many situations in this game where it looked hopeless, it looked doomed. They defend the push, and with the last minute of Baron, Gen.G are like, we have to back and get set up for this, or not the Baron, rather the more important objective, the Hextech Soul. Gen.G back off and go, we got to reset up for this. We got to get back into mid, push those lanes. They have great wave clear. If we mess around too much bomb side, try to get an inhibitor and fail, that's when the Ash Arrow comes out. That's when the pick comes out. And yet still, while they were trying to mess around mid, getting that pile for that Hextech Soul, they get caught in mid. Chovy and Peanut. I wish they would click on Closer. Okay, now we can see he's 2 levels up.
Well, the arrow is going to come through as Emperor's Divide comes down, but he's kept in position. Goes golden though, and he can tank for about 1,600 years, everyone. This is Silas. And there it is, 1,600 years. Wasn't as long as I kind of thought, but I guess time is a bit of a relative thing as Chovy finds no one with his Emperor's Divide. Kyle's over the wall. That was awesome.
Sick play saves him and then gets him over the wall. That was insane. This was a play that looked completely ruined, Atlas. They went so deep into a choke point with Gwen, who's immune, and they do not actually get the Silas where they want it to be. Closer gets picked, and then, I mean, the play is still a 2-for-1 in favor of Gen.G, and now they have a little bit of control over Baron. But, I mean, Kyle made it look like it was okay, kind of, because he was able to trade one back and save his AD carry. Could have been 3 for nothing.
And if Will is still alive, Wolf, that means that you can't do Baron. That is kind of the rule that we've discovered. As this was pretty cute from Delight, being able to, as there's his version of the cease and desist as they look to lock down Peanut. He goes golden as well as the Varus locks up that kill. Pays trying to get the work done as Doran, massive damage. Will is straight back to the death chamber once again. Grayscale mode activated here for both junglers as Gen.G get control of the Drake.
Yeah, Gen.G, since they're here fast enough and they have their jungler, they can take this, and Live Sandbox without their jungler, without enough damage realistically here with this Varus, can't actually take Baron down. They could get it close, but they wouldn't have the smite, and Gen.G could just come over and wipe them if they actually committed hard. So a trade of junglers favors Gen.G because they're closer to the Drake, they have more damage output in general with this Leandrius on the Azir. So Live Sandbox just
not as immune as he wants to be, but it's the Sivir damage that needs to be respected. The massive knock-up going ONB! I don't know whether you wanted that one, buddy, as Silas goes in deep, grabs the support, and Willer is going to burn to death from the Leandries. Gen.G, they managed to get the wipe on everyone but Kyle.
Yeah, this was a really close fight. It looks like an extremely one-sided fight for Gen G, but it was absolutely on a knife's edge because the damage output of the Silas is so high, and he's in the backline there, but they kite it out perfectly. And once again, Doran, the crazy thing about this, Doran does well into the Cassante matchup on the Gwen, but he basically just straight up does well into Live Sandbox's team comp. They're funneling into these choke points. They're super low range with bars here.
Well, Arrow will connect onto Willem. Nicely done, Doran. Half health, does need to be a little bit careful, but they grab 2 inhibitors. And, okay, Pay's kind of left to the wolves a little bit. Doran's like, nah, buddy, sorry, you are... Okay, well, he's going to at least try to escape. Never mind, he's fine. He's fine, totally fine. Had spell shield, had flash. I don't know why I was worried, Wolf.
I mean, it's a little bit concerning that he loses that much health and just barely gets away because Live Sandbox here are looking for soul points still, but they're 2 inhibitors down, so getting over there is really, really tough. As once again, Doran basically does everything in this fight. Like,
oh my god, the ricochet damage as well, just insane.
Well, this is a different fight than I thought. I thought we were going to the inside Sandbox to make it happen.
Yeah, and Peanut now can just sort of wait as both inhibitors have respawned. That is definitely good. Gen G looking for a flank angle. Envy gonna get sniped! The Fate's Call is not off cooldown, so he's going to get taken. Peanut is going to lock up the kill, and now Willer is the next target, the perfect option. As Peanut, he found his window, and he immediately dove through. A double kill for Pays. This should be the ace. Closer is going to try as he might to get this one working for them. Emperor's Divide comes in, and yes, the Ashe dies, but that's the end of the game. Gen G bring us to 1-1.
You know, these two teams said, wouldn't it be interesting if we let Ashe through the draft? It's been a little while in the LCK since we let Ashe through the draft. You know, people haven't seen that Arrow gameplay in a few days. Here in week 3, we're a little Ashe starved. Let's just let that one through and trade wins here. We're 1-1.
I'm worried about Gwen. Who left Gwen through the draft, man? I feel like
not having control of that mid wave when the Drake is taken is why they get to take it without even a fight. This is the duet finally hitting Doran. No Narbar after this. It's just doomed. Instantly flash ult from Birdall, and he gets him with the W at the last moment. Takes him down.
Absolutely perfectly played here by Birdall as Willa is pretty happy with how Birdall went. Nice Birdall is what he said.
Live Sandbox coaching staff is so hyped, man. This is such a monumental win if they can upset Gen G tonight and just one game away.
Yep, and the Live Sandbox players, definitely cool kids. Coaching staff losing their minds, not keeping it cool whatsoever. There was a bit of panicking going on.
Cool parents always panic.
Cool. The parents of cool kids always panic. Well, that's how it goes.
Cool kids do scary stuff, that's why they're cool.
If you were a cool kid, you'd know. As the grenade is going to go entirely wide. Chovy, I think, noticed. May have not. As Doran does find that a little bit of Doran spots the fact that that ward is in the brush. We'll see whether some clever alcoving can come through as Gen G do avoid it. There's the flash as Doran looks for the wallop. Does now have the ultimate available and gets it, but it doesn't really do too much. Still, it's going to work out as Pace stands his ground. Closer, moving up towards the top side as Peanut has to flash as he's scared of the Heimerdinger. Especially considering the fact that there is a snake hiding on the map as well. Doran looking for Envy.
Closer's teleport was interrupted there. He wanted to come over and help out.
That's what it was.
His teleport's interrupted by Chovy, so he can't actually get up there and help out despite Willer's great play.
Arrow? Cool. We are going to have a look towards the bottom side as Envy is punished for throwing arrows at Chovy. You're not allowed to do that, apparently. Doran is going to come after you, and he does do so. So that's a solo kill in the end.
This game is falling apart for Live Sandbox on this lane swap super hard. They're losing the bottom side there with Doran. Mid, Chovy can hold on the pressure extremely well. Top side, they fail to get the teleport there to save the lane. They end up losing 2. And suddenly, Gen G pulling ahead big time in terms of the lead here. And this Aurelia feeling much less strong than she was moments ago because she's kind of catching these waves and behind the tempo. So no kill pressure anymore. Down an item here as she returns to lane. So Gen G really said, hey, let's do this lane swap again. Threw them off last time. This time it's even stronger with the setup we have. And they hit it so well. Last time it was pretty telegraphed. It was like, oh, we were swapping because we're doomed. This time they kept it a secret. It looked like a normal back.
Worked out extraordinarily well. As we have a look at it one more time, it looked like Doran was looking for the Gnar play, but he had a couple of seconds left on the ulti.
By the way, Chovy realm warped on top of the Cassiopeia. to stop the teleport. Incredible play.
Man.
He sees it, and he knows exactly where Cassiopeia is standing. Watch this. Oh my god, Chovy the god.
As soon as the teleport happened, as soon as the teleport started being channeled, he's like, I got this, I got this, I got this. That was great. As Doran, also being a bit sneaky, lands the first boomerang to kill Envy.
Yeah, got caught trying to arrow Chovy, just out too far in the lane. Good punish here from Doran.
Yeah.
And this game is completely in Gen G's hands right now. The ball is in their court.
Certainly is. But it's only 1.4 thousand gold. You know, it's not really translating into gold advantages, especially considering Liv Sandbox sitting.
Yeah, and heading back to the top side of the map. Baron is the really interesting conversation in these drafts because that's where the fireworks are really going to be. As one more time.
Another one! And this time it's going to connect on to Peanut.
No respect.
As cease and desist comes in, but Bertle's still going to be able to grab that kill. That is real comfy. Gen G gonna have to back away yet again. Liv Sandbox wrestling back control.
Gen G, you won the last game with an Ash arrow. Okay, many Ash arrows.
Yeah.
And then you just had this mistake a moment ago. Here we go, TP fight.
Yeah, how does Willa get himself out of this one is the question, as Jovi's gonna come on over, and the answer is he doesn't. He just gets shot. And Pei's gonna grab himself yet another kill. I believe that's 4-0 or 5-0, something like that. I think focusing on trying to kill Pei's is definitely going to be a good option. As all right, Realm Warp going to deliver everyone. Petrifying Gaze comes in, but I think it was Closer that was scared as the whole crew turns up.
Yeah, just a slow rotation over from everybody. Birdall had TP. He's going to use it mid now because he's like, I got to rush my way over here, clear this wave. Maybe we can contest Baron, but really unfortunate here. Closer's picked. He's so much of this team's damage going into this fight. Willer has ult and flash. Birdall's going to try to slow this down by taking a turret.
Well, cease and desist comes in. Bertle going to fight Peanut here, and the rest of the squad aren't quite grouped up in time. Peanut punches a minion. Vanguard's edge just to buy time. But there it is. Bertle's going to try and turn it onto Pei's. That's a lot of money. But he gets stunned up and he will be taken down. That is 6-0-0 now for this Varus.
But it buys enough time for Liv Sandbox to regroup. Closer respawns here. And yes, Flash probably not really should have been used there by Birdall. It slowed them down and they wanted to get on the back line and kill that Varus because that would have been massive. But you know, we're nitpicking really to talk about that. This is the thing that starts it all off is Doran calls out, like, Closer's up here. He's got no flash. And the rest of the team is just way too far away. I've been tracking him for a while. And then this from Birdall is actually brilliant. He gets the turret. He buys a ton of time here. And I think if he either flashes away and survives, you love this. If he doesn't flash here and still survive, or like, you know, he still dies but he doesn't flash, you feel better about it. But he does flash and die. Still, buying enough time to prevent the Baron. Mission accomplished here. Stopwatch now ready for Closer. His ultimate's back online. He's got TP. This game is not over till it's over.
Nope. The fat lady ain't even getting ready to have a sing right now. Wolf.
This has been a great series.
It has.
I finally got one this season.
Man, Liv Sandbox really are the real deal, but they're going to have to show it in this late game as we cruise towards it. 30 minutes, very close on the clock, as this gold lead has not shifted in a very long time. It's Doran. The arrow not going to connect. Ooh.
Man, these arrows just seem a little bit thinner than normal for Envy this game.
I think Doran might also be a cool kid because he did not panic there either. Kyle, maybe he should have though, because Pace does so much damage. Meganar going to come in and Liv Sandbox, they have to vacate the area. In the meantime, Peanut's just doing the Drake. That is sole point now.
Yeah, and I mean, you're caught on two fronts here as Liv Sandbox. I mean, one Ocean Drake is not a big deal. 3 stacked up plus Soul. That's a big deal. That's actually quite significant.
Oh, yeah.
And Peanut's getting these objectives uncontested for free.
Ooh, I thought that wasn't going to hit. Hitbox question mark.
Closer, the spacing here is so good.
Into the wall. Closer taking a lot of damage. Petrifying Gaze going to try and take down Doran. He's very low. He tries to take the Realm Warp out and he escapes. Now Pays off to the side, but he presents a huge target. But maybe he's exactly the target that Gen G wants, distracting the rest of Liv Sandbox. There's the Prowler's Claw we were looking for, and the triple kill for Gen G, as they will now be able to break open the base, and this may have just been the back-breaking moment for
I
Liv
think
Sandbox.
it is. Liv Sandbox really want that fight. Peanut really wants to get out of that turret range.
Not a lot of minions just yet.
Yeah, I think if he dies there even, I don't think he cares that much. They don't even have Baron buff, and they're pushing to end. Death timers here, 32 minutes, super long. Gen G with a valiant attempt in this series to close out a game without any disasters, and I think we can say this game went pretty well of the three.
It absolutely did. Another kill, 10-0-2 for Pays on this Varus.